For 5 years, the scent of burnt coffee and metal filings had been the truest constant in my life, a testament to raw ambition forged in a converted Tacoma warehouse. I'd poured everything into that space, watching it grow from a desperate loan into a thriving custom metal works company. I'd even believed, foolishly, it was mine. It had begun when I was 26, a loan from my mom, $18,000 that felt like the world. I'd paid her back, with interest, 18 months later, but those initial papers had been a blur of hopeful signatures. This converted warehouse, reeking of rust and stale coffee, became my world. I taught myself metalwork from YouTube tutorials and a mountain of screw-ups, going through 3 welding masks before I stopped being an idiot with a torch. We built custom railings, staircases, decorative pieces for commercial buildings, nothing fancy at first, just solid work that held up. The first year was brutal, 16-hour days fueled by ramen, unable to stop for real food. By the second year, Gavin joined me, a man who knew more about metal fabrication than I'd ever hoped to learn. The third year brought our first big contract, a turning point. By year 5, we were pulling in 6 figures in revenue, with clients lining up. I rolled into the parking lot at 7:30 on a Tuesday morning, the familiar rhythm of my truck's engine a comfort. 5 years of busting my back had rooted me deep in this place, this company. We were 3 weeks out from delivering an $80,000 custom staircase for a commercial building downtown. The lot was empty save for my truck and a black Escalade I didn't recognize. Maybe Gavin had forgotten to mention a supplier showing up early. The front door creaked open, admitting me to the comforting smell of metal shavings. High skylights bathed the industrial space in a soft morning light. My office, tucked in a corner with actual walls, not the glass fishbowl everyone thought was professional, waited. I set my drink down, powered up the computer. Then I heard vehicle doors slam outside, a harsh sound against the morning quiet. I looked out the window, and my gut tightened. My stepfather, Victor, was climbing out of his Escalade, wearing a suit that probably cost more than my monthly rent. The passenger door opened, and his daughter, Tatum, mid-20s, stepped out. She was dressed like she was heading to a corporate meeting, not whatever this was. Her phone was already up, filming everything, as if documenting a crime scene. Behind them, a locksmith's van pulled up. Victor and I had exchanged maybe 10 words in the 2 years since he married my mother. A rich real estate developer, always working an angle, he treated everyone like they were either useful or a waste of his time. He'd never visited my shop once, never asked about my work, never acted like he gave half a damn about me. I walked to the front door as he approached, the locksmith and Tatum trailing behind. The locksmith looked like he wanted to be anywhere else, clutching his drill and toolbox, radiating awkwardness. Tatum walked in, scanning everything through her phone, that entitled look on her face, like she already owned the place. Victor didn't offer a handshake. He just stood there, holding a manila folder. "Mason, we need to discuss the ownership transfer." I stared at him. "What transfer?" He held out the folder. "Your mother sold me your custom metal works company. Sale finalized yesterday afternoon. As of this morning, I'm the owner. You're terminated effective immediately. Start packing your personal items." I took the folder, opening it. The words were there, but my brain wasn't connecting them. Legal documents with Mom's signature all over them. A bill of sale. Transferring 100% ownership of my company to Victor for $120,000. My company was worth at least $600,000, probably closer to $750,000 with the contracts we had lined up. "This is insane," I said. "Mom doesn't own my company. I own it." Victor's smirk was condescending, like he was explaining basic math to a child. "Check your corporate filings. Your mother is listed as majority shareholder with 65% ownership. You have 35. This made no sense. 5 years ago, when I was 26, Mom gave me that $18,000 to start the business. We'd signed paperwork, but it was a loan I'd paid back 18 months ago, with interest, all documented. I need to call my mother. Victor's face didn't change. Your mother is resting at our home. She's not taking calls now. Now I need all keys, access codes, and company devices, including the truck keys. Tatum moved past us into the shop. I heard her voice, sharp and pushy. You're Gavin, right? Stop what you're doing. I need the employee files, client contact lists, and the safe combination. Now, this is a legal transfer, and you're required to cooperate. Gavin's confused voice came back. Who are you? New management. I'm Tatum, Director of Operations. I need the shop iPad, all contract binders, and any company credit cards you have access to. This is legitimate, and you're obstructing business if you refuse. I heard Gavin's chair scrape. I'm not giving you anything. Mason owns this place. Not anymore. Your boss has been embezzling. We're here to secure assets before he tries to hide more evidence. I started toward the shop, but Victor blocked my path, not touching me, just positioned himself in the doorway. I pulled out my phone and called Mom's cell. Straight to voicemail. Tried the house phone. Nothing. I called her work number at the credit union where she'd been a teller for 15 years. The receptionist answered, Hey, Mason. Looking for your mom? Yeah. Is she available? A pause. Oh, you didn't hear. Beth took emergency leave yesterday. Something about exhaustion. Mr. Hammond called and said she needed complete rest. I hung up and looked at Victor. What emergency leave? What happened to my mother? His voice stayed flat. Your mother has been under considerable stress. Her doctor recommended immediate rest. She's at home under medical supervision. Let me talk to her right now. She's sedated. Doctor's orders. She'll be unavailable for the next several days minimum. This whole thing felt off. I looked at the locksmith. Don't touch anything. This is my business, and there's no legal sale. The locksmith glanced nervously at Victor. Sir, I need verification that you're the actual owner before I can change locks on commercial property. Victor handed him documents from the folder. The locksmith read them, looking uncomfortable. This shows a sale, but I can't verify legitimacy. Maybe you folks should sort this out before I do any work. Victor's jaw clenched. I'm paying you $300 to change 4 locks. Do your job. I called my attorney. He answered on the second ring, and I rapid-fired everything. Do you have copies of your incorporation documents, my attorney? Asked. I can access them, but not here. Victor's trying to change the locks right now. My attorney cut in quick. Do not let him change those locks. That's a hostile takeover attempt. Call police if you have to. I looked at Victor. You can't change locks without a court order. Victor pulled out his phone and made a call. Within seconds, he had someone on speaker, a woman's voice, crisp and professional. This is Victor's attorney. We have a legally executed bill of sale transferring ownership of the Custom Metal Works company from Beth to Victor. My attorney was still on my phone. I put him on speaker. This is Mason's attorney, the actual owner of the Custom Metal Works company. I'm advising my client that any ownership transfer requires verification of the seller's authority and capacity. The attorneys went back and forth, a legal standoff. Victor looked at the locksmith and said, Proceed. I dialed 911, told the dispatcher someone was attempting illegal seizure of my business. They said officers would arrive within 20 minutes. Victor walked through my shop like he was inspecting property he'd just bought. I followed him with my phone out, documenting everything. Tatum grabbed my laptop and the contract binder on camera, calling me a thief in front of Gavin and the locksmith. The locksmith started drilling the first lock. Victor showed me his phone, a bank statement with my company's account number showing a $25,000 wire transfer to an offshore investment account dated 2 weeks ago. My signature was on the authorization form. That's not my signature. I never made that transfer. Victor smiled. Your mother was devastated when she discovered it. She considered it theft. That's when she decided to sell to someone trustworthy. Complete setup. Someone had forged my signature to make it look like I was embezzling from my own company. The police arrived. 2 officers, one older guy with a gut and a younger woman who looked like she'd heard this before. Victor immediately took control, handing them ownership documents and showing them the bank statement. The male officer looked at me. Sir, did you authorize this wire transfer? No, that's not my signature, and I never touched any offshore investment accounts. Someone forged that. Tatum stepped forward, phone still recording. Officers, we have video evidence of his threatening behavior. He's been hostile since we arrived. You should check his background. The female officer examined the paperwork. This is a civil dispute. We can't determine ownership. You'll need to resolve this in court. Victor nodded. In the meantime, I'm the documented owner, and I'm asking him to leave my property. I pulled up my incorporation documents on my phone, showing I was the founder and sole owner. But when we compared them to Victor's filing documents, there was a discrepancy. His version showed Mom as majority shareholder. The female officer shook her head. You need attorneys for this. We can't enforce anything when both parties have conflicting paperwork. She looked at Victor. Sir, I'd recommend not changing the locks until a judge decides. But he's not to remove any equipment, files, or tools from the premises. The officers left. Victor looked at me. You have until the end of business today to collect your personal belongings. Come Thursday, if you're still here, I'll have you arrested for trespassing. He walked out to his Escalade, totally calm, totally confident, like he'd already won and was just waiting for me to realize it. Tatum followed, still holding my laptop and the contract binder. She turned at the door and smirked. Enjoy unemployment, by the way. They drove away. The locksmith packed up without doing anything. I stood alone in my shop with Gavin, the air still thick with their presence. Victor had walked in here thinking he had everything locked down, the forged documents, the fake signatures, the fake corporate filings, all neat and tidy. What he didn't account for was Tatum going freelance. My attorney called back immediately. Mason, get to the Secretary of State website right now. Pull your full corporate filing history. I reached for my laptop. Wait, no. Tatum had taken it. I used Gavin's computer and accessed the state business registry. My company showed multiple filings. The original incorporation from 5 years ago listed me as sole owner, but there was an amended filing from 9 months ago that I'd never seen or signed. It showed a restructuring where Mom became majority shareholder with 65% ownership. My signature was on the amendment. That's not my signature, I told my attorney. I never filed any amendment. My attorney went quiet for a second. Someone filed fraudulent documents. We need to report this and file an emergency injunction to freeze any ownership transfers. He paused. But first, we need to find your mother and figure out what she actually signed. I tried calling Mom again. Voicemail. I called her best friend, Marianne, who lived near Mom's place. Marianne answered immediately. Mason, thank goodness. I've been trying to reach your mother since yesterday. What happened? I saw her Monday morning at the gym. She seemed fine, maybe a little stressed. We were supposed to meet for coffee yesterday afternoon, but she canceled last minute. I've tried calling all evening and this morning. Nothing. My stomach dropped. Marianne, I need you to go to her house right now. Something's wrong. Victor showed up at my business this morning, claiming Mom sold him my company. He says she's on medical leave and sedated. Marianne gasped. That's insane. Beth would never sell your business. Can you check on her? I'm heading there now, but it'll take me 45 minutes. She agreed, and we hung up. While driving towards their house in Bellevue, my phone buzzed. Email notification. I glanced at it at a red light. The email was from Tatum, sent to the downtown building project manager. Subject line, new ownership, updated payment instructions. I pulled into a gas station and read the full email. She'd introduced herself as Director of Operations for my custom metalworks company, claimed ownership change effective immediately, and requested that all future payments be redirected to a new account she'd provided. She attached copies of the sale documents and asked for a meeting to ensure seamless project continuity and address any transition concerns. Professional, calculated, completely fraudulent, and completely unprompted. Victor never told her to do this. She went rogue. I sat there for a minute, thinking it through. This was gold. Pure gold. She just created a paper trail showing she was actively messing with my business relationships, trying to redirect payments, and doing it all from her personal email with her name attached. All documented, all time-stamped, all while claiming I was the criminal who couldn't be trusted. The irony was almost funny. She thought she was protecting her father's interests. What she was actually doing was creating evidence of tortious interference, attempted fraud, and defamation. All the things Victor's expensive attorney would have told her not to do. All the things that would make this way worse for both of them. I could send a cease and desist right now. Shut her down. Stop her from contacting any more clients. Or I could let her keep going. Let her contact every client on our list. Let her create more and more evidence. Let her dig the hole deeper. I screenshotted the email from every possible angle. Saved it to cloud storage. Forwarded it to my attorney with a note. Victor's daughter just contacted our biggest client claiming new ownership and trying to redirect our $80,000 payment. She did this on her own initiative. This is interference and attempted theft. She just handed us evidence on a silver platter. My attorney called back within minutes. That was monumentally stupid of her. Really, really stupid. That's textbook tortious interference. She opened herself up to massive personal liability separate from her father. I need to send her a cease and desist immediately. Stop her before she does more damage and creates more liability. No, I paused. Mason, she's actively interfering with your business relationships. This is ongoing harm. We can shut this down right now with one letter. The fastest way to end this is a cease and desist letter. The better way is to let her keep emailing. Every contact she makes is another count against her. Every client she contacts is another witness. Let her keep digging. My attorney went quiet for a beat. You want her to build the entire case against herself. Exactly. She thinks she's being smart. She thinks she's securing her father's investment. Let her keep thinking that. Let her keep making contact. Let her keep creating evidence. We document everything and use it all later. Your call, but save everything. Every email, every voicemail, every text. Get statements from every client she contacts. Build the file. Already on it. You think Victor knows she's doing this? Doubt it. This reads like someone who thinks they're being helpful but doesn't understand the legal exposure they're creating. She's acting independently, which makes her personally liable for everything, separate from her father. Perfect. That meant we could go after her specifically for the interference claims. Separate lawsuit if needed, separate consequences. I called Gavin while still parked at the gas station. Did you see exactly what Victor's daughter took this morning? Yeah, man. Your laptop, the big contract binder with all the building specs and client contact information, and she tried to grab the master key ring from my desk drawer, but I physically pulled it back from her hands before she could take it. She also photographed everything in the office, and I mean everything: financial documents, invoices, employee files, tax records. I watched her spend like 10 minutes just systematically photographing the entire filing cabinet contents. She was methodical about it, really thorough, like she had a checklist. That's perfect. Can you write down exactly what happened, every detail? What she said, word for word, what she took, what time each thing occurred. I need a comprehensive witness statement, dates, times, exact quotes, everything you can remember. Already working on it. I started writing it all down the second they drove away because this whole situation felt sketchy from the start. I've got most of it documented already, including the exact wording she used when she called you a thief in front of the locksmith. I've got timestamps for when they arrived, when she grabbed the laptop, when she started photographing files, all of it. That's good work, Gavin. Really good. That statement is going to matter. On the drive across the bridge to Bellevue, my attorney called back. I filed an emergency motion for a temporary restraining order against Victor and Tatum. The hearing is scheduled for Thursday morning at 9. We absolutely need your mother's testimony. Without her statement about what happened, this gets much harder. I'm heading to her house now, 40 minutes out. Call me the second you know anything. I was halfway across the bridge when Marianne called back. She was breathing hard, voice shaking. Mason, I went to the house. I rang the doorbell for 5 solid minutes. Nobody answered, but I could see lights on inside, and Victor's car was in the driveway. I kept ringing. Finally, Victor opened the door, looking annoyed. He told me Beth is resting and can't have visitors. I said I just needed to see her for 2 minutes. He said no. So, I pushed past him into the house. She paused, collecting herself. Your mother was in the bedroom, lying on top of the covers, fully dressed, but just lying there. She looked drugged, Mason. Her eyes were glazed over, unfocused. I said her name twice before she even looked at me. When she did, I don't think she recognized me at first. Her speech was slurred. She tried to sit up, but couldn't quite manage it. Victor came in behind me, grabbed my arm, and physically walked me back to the front door. He told me if I came back or tried to contact Beth, he'd call the police and have me arrested for trespassing. Then he shut the door in my face. My hand squeezed the steering wheel. I'm almost there. I'm calling 911 for a welfare check right now. Please hurry. Something is very wrong. I called 911 while driving and requested a welfare check. I arrived at the house 40 minutes later. Victor's Escalade sat in the driveway. I parked on the street and walked to the front door. Before I could knock, Victor opened it. Mason, your mother is resting. Marianne's visit was disruptive. Leave. I need to see my mother now. Victor blocked the doorway. She's under medical care. Her doctor prescribed medication for severe anxiety. What doctor? Give me the name and number. Dr. Morrison. You can contact his office tomorrow during business hours. I pulled out my phone and searched for Dr. Morrison. There were 2 doctors with that name in Seattle. Which one? Victor smiled slightly. I'm not obligated to provide you with that information. I'm her son. You're her adult son who's been accused of embezzling from a family business. Your mother is extremely stressed about your criminal behavior. 2 police cruisers pulled up. The same female officer from my shop and a different male officer. Victor immediately shifted his expression to concerned. Officers, thank you for responding. My wife is inside, resting under medical care. Her son has been harassing her. The female officer looked at me. Sir, we're here for a welfare check on Beth. We need to see her and verify she's safe. Victor hesitated. She's sleeping. The medication makes her very groggy. The male officer stayed firm. We need to see her. Standard procedure. Victor reluctantly stepped aside. The officers went inside. I followed. Mom's bedroom was upstairs. The officers knocked and entered. Mom was lying in bed, wearing pajamas, her hair messy. Her eyes were half open but unfocused. The room smelled medicinal and stale. Mom, it's Mason. You okay? Mom's eyes moved toward me slowly. Her speech was slurred. Mason, why are you here? The female officer knelt beside the bed. Ma'am, we're checking on you. Are you safe? Mom looked confused. I'm just tired. Victor said I need rest. The officer examined pill bottles on the nightstand. This is Ambien, and this is Valium. Both prescribed for nighttime use only. Ma'am, did you take these today? Mom looked at Victor. He gives them to me. He says the doctor ordered them. The male officer turned to Victor. What doctor prescribed daytime sedation with sleep medication? Victor showed them prescriptions. The label showed Beth's various medications, unusual dosing instructions. The female officer photographed the prescriptions. This is highly irregular. Ambien is for sleep, not anxiety, and the dosing here is excessive. She looked at Mom. Ma'am, do you remember signing business documents yesterday? Mom's eyes closed and opened slowly. Victor had papers. He said they were urgent for Mason's business. The officer made notes. Did you read the papers before signing? Mom shook her head slightly. Victor said I needed to sign fast. He said Mason was in trouble. The male officer looked at Victor. Sir, it appears your wife was heavily medicated and signed documents she didn't understand. Victor's voice didn't budge. My wife made a competent decision. The medication was prescribed after she signed. The officer wasn't buying it. We're recommending medical evaluation. He called for an ambulance. The paramedics arrived 15 minutes later. They checked Mom's vitals and examined the pill bottles. This is dangerous dosing, one paramedic said. Ma'am, we're taking you to Overlake Medical Center for evaluation. Mom nodded weakly. As they wheeled her out, she reached for my hand. Mason, I'm sorry. I didn't understand. I squeezed her hand. It's fine. I'll handle this. At the hospital, they took Mom to emergency. I sat in the waiting room while they ran tests. My attorney called, and I explained everything. A doctor came out an hour later. I'm the doctor. Your mother is stable, but she's been significantly oversedated. We're keeping her overnight for observation. The next morning, Mom was awake, clear-eyed. She told me everything. Victor had shown her fake bank statements, claiming I'd gambled away company money. Told her she needed to sell to save me from criminal charges. After she signed, he gave her pills, claiming they were from her doctor. Kept her foggy and compliant. The hospital social worker filed an elder abuse report. My attorney got Mom's sworn statement and amended the emergency motion. By Wednesday evening, the machine was eating them. Adult Protective Services confirmed the prescriptions were fake. A detective got warrants. Forensic document examiners confirmed the signatures weren't mine. The pharmacy had no record. Victor's background showed previous restraining orders. I called the building project manager, explained the fraud, sent documentation. They blacklisted Tatum from their vendor system. Commercial contractors share databases. She just killed her career. Then she kept going. Another client called Thursday evening. A restaurant owner. Tatum had emailed him too, claiming ownership change, offering revised pricing. She was systematically contacting my entire client list. I documented everything. Forwarded every email to my attorney and the detective. Didn't respond. Just watched her dig. The judge presided. Victor was there with his attorney. Tatum sat in the gallery, confident. My attorney presented everything: Mom's statement, hospital records, Gavin's witness statement, Tatum's emails to my clients showing payment redirection attempts. The judge looked at Victor. Where did you obtain the medications? Victor's attorney said, Fifth Amendment. Mom testified, describing the fake bank statements, the pills, how Victor kept her foggy for days. The judge reviewed the evidence: forged signatures, fake prescriptions, Tatum's emails trying to redirect $80,000. I'm issuing a temporary restraining order against both of you. The sale is void. Return all property today. Miss Tatum, you're prohibited from contacting clients. Violations result in arrest. He looked at Tatum. Her confidence cracked. I'm ordering a forensic audit and referring this to the prosecutor for criminal investigation. The hearing ended, but my attorney leaned in like he'd been waiting for this moment. The TRO isn't vague, he said. It's specific on purpose. He drafted it like a checklist, not a suggestion. No contact with clients or vendors, direct or indirect. No access to business accounts or systems. Return the laptop and binders. Preserve everything. No deleting anything. No, oops, my phone wiped. None of that. And because Tatum was the type to treat court orders like a terms of service pop-up, my attorney had her personally served that afternoon. Process server, hand-to-hand, proof of service. No, I didn't know. No, my dad didn't tell me. I didn't contact her, didn't poke, didn't try to bait her into anything. I did the boring adult thing. We sent a simple note to every client from Gavin's computer, since my laptop was still in Tatum's possession, legal dispute ongoing. Ignore anyone claiming new management. Forward it to my attorney. Don't engage. 3 days later, the building project manager called me. Mason, she emailed again, asking for a meeting and the payment schedule. I just felt that calm click into place, like a rat stepping on the same trap twice. Forward it, I said. And don't reply. By the end of the week, it wasn't just him. A restaurant owner, a contractor, a property manager. Same tone, same corporate cosplay, same director of operations nonsense. All time-stamped after she'd been served with the TRO. My attorney didn't even sound angry when I called him. He sounded entertained. We're filing contempt, he said. This isn't complicated. She was told not to do the one thing she keeps doing. He filed the motion with the emails attached, full headers included, plus short client declarations saying when they got contacted and what she asked for. Clean, simple, court-friendly. The contempt hearing was quick. The judge pulled up the TRO, then the emails, then the proof. Tatum was served. Ms. Tatum, he said, what part of no client contact was unclear? Her attorney tried the whole she believed she was preserving relationships routine. The judge didn't buy it for even a second. I'm finding you in contempt, he said. You knowingly violated a valid court order. He ordered her to pay my attorney's fees for the contempt motion and hit her with a fine for the violations. Then he made it painfully clear this was her last free lesson. No contact with clients, vendors, employees, or anyone connected to this business, he said. If you need to communicate, it goes through attorneys. If you ignore this again, we stop doing warnings. Tatum left that courtroom looking like someone finally explained gravity to her. Victor and Tatum left without looking at anyone. Over the next 4 weeks, the machine ate them. Forensics found everything on Victor's computer. Forged signatures, fake prescriptions, fraudulent filings. The prosecutor filed 11 counts. Victor got arrested. Couldn't make bail. Tatum's social media posts were still up, cleaning up a thief's mess. Justice Day. Every word timestamped in public. My attorney filed a civil suit. Tatum named personally. Every email she sent. Every statement calling me a thief. All evidence. The fake corporate amendment became the criminal referral. The judge had sent it straight to prosecutors. Tatum's deposition happened 3 weeks later. My attorney handled it. I sat in the conference room, watching. My attorney pulled up her social media post on the big screen. Photos from my shop. Captions timestamped, Tuesday morning. Cleaning up a thief's mess. Justice Day. Securing assets from a criminal. He read them aloud slowly. Let each one sit. Miss Tatum, you posted these while at the custom metal workshop. Correct? Tatum shifted in her chair. Yes. You also filmed video inside the shop and posted it with commentary calling Mason a criminal. Correct? I was documenting. My attorney played the video. Her voice came through clear. This man has been embezzling. You're the criminal here. Calling me a thief in front of the locksmith and Gavin. All on camera, all with her voice, all posted publicly with her name attached. You made these accusations without any verified evidence. Correct? Her attorney started to object. She answered anyway. My father showed me documents. But you never verified them, never called an accountant, never contacted law enforcement, never asked a lawyer if those documents were legitimate. I trusted my father. You trusted him enough to grab Mason's laptop and contract binder on camera. Correct? Silence. You trusted him enough to contact Mason's clients and attempt to redirect $80,000 to an account your father controlled. Correct? Her attorney tried to object again. My attorney pulled up the emails. All from her personal email address. All timestamped, all professionally written, all requesting payment redirection to Victor's account. How many clients did you contact? I don't remember exactly. My attorney smiled. We have 7 emails to 7 different clients, all sent within 48 hours, all from your personal email, all attempting to redirect payments. Were you aware that commercial contractors share vendor fraud databases? Tatum went pale. No, so, when Westlake Hotels flagged you as a fraud risk, that information was automatically shared with approximately 3,000 other commercial property managers in the Pacific Northwest. Were you aware of that? No, let me ask about the laptop. The judge ordered you to return it immediately. How long after that order did you actually return it? Tatum hesitated. A few days. 4 days. During which time forensics shows you accessed confidential client files and copied multiple documents to a USB drive. Correct? I was just reviewing files. My attorney pulled out the forensic report, started reading specifics. Which files were accessed? Which were copied? What times? What dates? All after the judge's order. All documented by computer forensics. Her attorney called for a break. When they came back, Tatum looked like someone had explained to her exactly how badly she'd messed up. Every social media post got entered into evidence. Every email, every word she'd said on camera, every file she'd accessed after being ordered not to. Here's what Victor didn't understand. He'd planned this carefully. Forged documents, fake prescriptions, manufactured evidence. It was controlled, strategic. Then Tatum grabbed a laptop, started filming herself making accusations, contacted my clients, posted everything online with her real name. She thought she was being helpful. She destroyed any chance Victor had of claiming this was a legitimate business dispute. Her actions made it look exactly like what it was, a hostile takeover attempt with his daughter as a willing accomplice. Victor's whole defense strategy was that this was a legitimate business transaction between spouses. Tatum's emails trying to redirect $80,000 destroyed that completely. Victor's trial happened 4 months later. The evidence was overwhelming. Digital forensics recovered deleted files from his computer, showing him practicing my signature repeatedly. Research history showing identity theft techniques. Planning documents detailing the entire scheme months in advance. The jury deliberated 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing hearing in December. The judge looked at Victor in his orange jumpsuit. Mr. Victor, you targeted a vulnerable woman who trusted you. You manipulated her, drugged her, and attempted to steal from her son through systematic fraud. 10 years, $320,000 in restitution. Victor's face went white. Tatum's civil case settled a month later. $40,000 in damages. Forced public retraction on every social media platform where she called me a thief. Sworn statement admitting the embezzlement claims were false. A 15-year prohibition on contacting my business, my employees, or my clients. Anything else had to go through attorneys, but the real damage was already done. Her name got flagged in multiple vendor fraud databases. Commercial contractors share those systems. Procurement managers talk. When she applied for jobs, background checks pulled up the civil judgment and the public retractions. Her LinkedIn profile disappeared overnight. Social media went private. Every Google search of her name brought up articles: daughter of convicted fraudster settles defamation case, business owner wins against woman who falsely accused him of embezzlement. Plus the contempt finding, because apparently she needed the judge to say it twice. She'd walked into my shop that Tuesday morning like she was running a corporate takeover. Phone up, filming everything, grabbing my laptop like she had every right, calling me a thief in front of witnesses, posting it all online with her real name, contacting my clients trying to redirect payments. All documented, all time-stamped, all publicly available. I never went after her directly, never had to. She documented her own destruction. Every social media post, every email, every word she'd said on camera, all evidence she created herself, all with her name on it. The vendor blacklist spread through industry networks like wildfire. Hotels share procurement databases. One fraud flag in Westlake system automatically spread to 3,000 other property managers in the Pacific Northwest. Her name was permanently marked. Any company that ran even a basic check would find it: the civil judgment, the forced retraction, the defamation settlement, the association with her father's criminal conviction. She thought she was securing assets. What she actually secured was a permanent record of exactly how she tried to steal from someone and got caught. Mom filed for divorce. Proceedings moved fast since Victor couldn't contest from prison. 90 days, and it was done. She sold the Bellevue house, moved to a smaller condo in Kirkland, kept her job at the credit union. The restitution payments came slowly as Victor's assets got liquidated, but eventually she recovered most of what he'd stolen from her retirement. She started therapy, dealt with the guilt of almost losing my business, dealt with the betrayal, dealt with trusting someone who'd played her for 2 years. It took months, but she came through it stronger. She started dating again eventually, met a retired teacher from her school, a guy who actually treated her with respect and didn't have any hidden agendas. They took it slow. She was cautious now, protective of herself in ways she hadn't been before. That was probably healthy. I returned to my shop the day after the judge's initial ruling. Gavin had kept things running during the crisis. We completed the building commission on time, delivered the staircase 3 days early. The client was impressed enough that they referred us to 2 more projects. 8 months later, we had 8 employees, 2 delivery vans, and revenue pushing $900,000. The business Victor tried to steal had doubled in size. The $80,000 commission that Tatum tried to redirect, that became the foundation for our expansion. We used those profits to buy better equipment, hire more skilled workers, take on bigger projects. The forensic accountant who'd traced Victor's embezzlement ended up joining our advisory board, helped me implement better financial controls, proper corporate governance, systems to prevent anyone from ever pulling something like this again. Mom and I had dinner every other week. Sometimes we talked about what happened. Most times we didn't. The betrayal left scars, but they faded. On a cold Wednesday morning in February, I pulled into the shop parking lot at 7:15. The lot had 6 vehicles now, including Gavin's truck and our delivery van. As I was unlocking the front door, a car pulled up. I recognized it immediately. Tatum's silver sedan. She got out and walked toward me. I didn't move, just stood there with my keys in hand. She stopped about 10 feet away. Couldn't look at me. Hair shorter, cheaper clothes. No phone. Mason. I waited. I came to apologize. She was staring at the ground. Not because my lawyer said to. Just. I needed to. Silence. I didn't help her out. I was wrong about everything. She looked up for a second, then backed down. I never checked anything. I just believed my dad and thought I was helping. More silence. I destroyed my own career over it. Her voice cracked a little. And I almost destroyed yours. I still didn't say anything. She shifted her weight. I'm not asking for forgiveness or anything. I just wanted you to know that I get it now. What I did. Okay. She nodded, started to turn, stopped. Thanks for not pressing charges. You could have. I didn't not press charges for you. I gave the detective everything and let the state handle the rest. She got in her car, didn't look back. I walked into my shop. Gavin was already there. Who was that? Victor's daughter. Showed up to apologize. That do anything for you? Not really. I set my coffee down and booted up the computer. Victor's serving 10 years in Monroe. Tatum moved to Portland. Name still flagged in every background check that matters. They handed me everything I needed. All I did was let them keep digging. How could I have ever missed the quiet rot beneath the surface, brewing in the very place I called home?